Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome on in. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a good night so far. I'm Geoff. You can call me that, or you can call me Wags, or you know what? We come up with all sorts of creative names in here. Welcome on in. This is the channel. This is WagWorksGA. And if you're here, you're going to be seeing some art. I am an artist. I'm the artist half of a creative team with my wife, and we do kids comics largely. So you might see some of that here, some of our shorter form ones that we do with a group of creator friends, and that's called Core Toons. It's like shorter educational stuff for kids. We also we're at work on a couple of graphic novel projects that we're working to get represented and published. And also here, you're going to see a lot of video game fan art. It's something that I like to do. It charges my creative batteries. Yeah, that's what we're all about here. Welcome on in. You know what? I'm just going to hop right into it tonight. So the drill is this. I always start off with a quick warm up, loosen up the arm, get thinking about art before I hop into my main piece. And I do that with these guys. So I picked out, I guess, 6 tonight, 5. I usually pick out 4 to 6 of these from our collection that I think would be interesting. And then I randomly pick one here, and that's what I'm going to warm up on. So, shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. And we're going to go with... What do we got? Shuckle. All right. So, while I'm pulling up a quick reference here just to have on the screen. So I like to work in the typical process of a rough sketch, then pencils, which is a little bit of a cleaner sketch, picking those favorite lines, then final lines or inks, then I'll lay down color, then I do shading, that type of thing. I'm not going to get that far. Warm up, the warm up that I do here is just 5 minutes. So it's really just a loosening up exercise and really trying to get to a passable sketch, really, is the most basic of goals, so that if I wanted to come back and work on the piece later and finish it, I've got a good starting point. I'm feeling comfortable about it. And help me develop kind of my thumbnailing, compositional kind of skills. So let's go ahead and hop over to our art window overlay, and this is the wonderful Clip Studio Paint. Highly recommend, especially if you do any kind of comics or manga. It's great. It was built for that purpose, but it incorporates a lot of really good powerful Photoshop and Illustrator type tools, and even does some basic animation. And you can actually buy it and own it forever instead of paying a monthly subscription, although you can do that as well if you want all the updates. Anywho, that's what I like to use, and that's what you're seeing here. So I've got a 5-minute timer ready to go. You're welcome to draw along with me. You don't have to draw the Pokemon. You can draw whatever you'd like, but I'm gonna hop in now. So here we go. Timer start. I'm gonna go ahead and label my layers here, which is gonna help me stay organized and, you know, maybe not draw on the wrong layer. It's probably gonna happen at some point tonight. It's kind of a tradition at this point here in the channel. All right, so for sketch layer, I like to start out with something pretty clearly not my final lines, which means I use any color other than black. Oftentimes just whatever I feel like that night. So got a nice pink here. I like it. And I'm using a gigantic brush size here, and that is very intentional, because that keeps me from really worrying too much about the tiny details. I mean, I try to get a little bit here, rough in some stuff here and there in this sketch layer, but the detail really is for subsequent passes, pencils, final lines, etc., etc. I'm gonna follow kind of the posing here on these holes, just because, you know, it's kind of a good pattern it's got going. Usually I try to switch things up a little more on posing, so I'm not just, you know, copying the official art, but I'm going for something here. Maybe I can. Yeah, all right, let's do this. That needs to be bigger. Cool, 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 cool. At any rate, happy Thursday to everybody. Hope your week has gone well. We have almost made it. Almost made it to the weekend, which is always a good thing, if you ask me. You may have noticed from the stream title tonight that it is going to be a little bit shorter. I just have an early meeting in the morning. That's all. But it is a little bit hard to do that when you, you know, stay up till 12:30, 1 o'clock streaming. So, it's a fortunately shorter one. Actually, not. So, yeah, let's do that. All right. So I like to draw my Pokemon sleeping when I do the warm-up. A couple reasons for that. One, it's a creative constraint. Sometimes those can actually help inspire creativity because they prevent you from kind of going down all the rabbit holes of trying to figure out, oh no, what exactly I'm going to do. And before you know it, you spent your entire 5 minutes thinking and have no actual idea what you're going to draw. So I start out with that constraint. It makes it easier. It limits my options down enough where I can still get some creativity going, but I'm not going overboard with it. Make that a little bit bigger because I really want to do get the clear focus on the head, although the head itself then is going to be a little bit smaller in there. And the other reason is just that sleeping Pokemon are cute. Yeah, I did like some a few years ago. I did some sleeping Paldean starters pieces that I just loved it, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna keep going with it. It's my thing. So, yeah, they're cute. It's fun. It gets the creativity going for a warm up. What more reason do you need? Okay, that's good. This is, you know, I have a background here. It's not really going to be much. It's probably going to be some like rocks or something to that effect out here. I imagine a Shuckle being out like on some kind of shore-like place. Maybe it's a bit of a rockier shore. Something like that. Maybe even draw the tide in there, but that's kind of how I see that going. All right, so I'm feeling pretty good about this one, so I'm actually going to go on to pencils. Or I'm not, because the timer just went off. But I will label that layer so that future Geoff remembers that that was my intent. And I'll turn off the timer because that's probably really obnoxious. All right, cool. All right, this is good. I had a little fun with the idea on this one. Just getting the face kind of peeking out a little bit. Could play around. If I was gonna come back and do this and like finish out the piece, I might have the head like regressed even a little further into the shell and have the eyes kind of just like very dimly being shown. But for the sketch, I like this. This is fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this and clear it up and get ready to hop in on our main work for tonight, which has been slow, deliberate progress on the Kingdom Hearts 2 piece illustration that I've been working on. And today is the 25th. Good. Alrighty, there we go. All right, and this is where we're at so far on our Kingdom Hearts illustration. slowly but surely. This came out of a quick sketch I did when I was brainstorming ideas for a different piece that I had for a specific purpose, and I ended up picking a different piece for it. But I really loved where I was at with the Kingdom Hearts idea, so yeah, I figured, you know what, why not come in and go and finish it up? And yeah, Kingdom Hearts is a series that I'm a huge fan of, so yeah, just kind of a soft spot to go in and finish it, not just leave it in the sketch stage. So I don't know if you can see. This is where it came from, where we were at. Let me fix that perspective. Yeah, so you can see how it kind of came along from the really, really, really rough sketch to getting more detailed pencils. Like the clock tower is obviously a very detailed geometric structure. I wanted to make sure to get that all represented well, and then kind of penciled in our characters, did some adjustments, and I'm lining everything right now. I've got 4 of 6 characters lined. So that's where we're at. We'll keep going on that tonight. Now, was there something I was missing on Roxas before I go any further? Switch out my pen. Get a true black going there. All right. 8, I want to say. Nope, that's a little thin for this. There we go. I think 12 was good. I'm doing these all in kind of their own folder so that everything's organized. I can play around with the composition, sizing, all of that later. My final lines are all in vector, which is it's great so that I can work on resizing things later if I don't like the size. And the great thing about vector is that it doesn't matter what resolution you're at. You can resize it to anything, and it will stay pretty true to what you were going for. So that's really nice. And then the color raster layers, usually they're solid enough where you don't get too, if you're not doing anything fancy or too detailed, you don't get too much pixelization. But yeah. Although this is also at like 600 DPI, 16 by 20 inches, so this is really pretty huge. Anyway, I don't imagine we'll be going larger than this. All right, bring up some reference here. That is a reference for some of the graphic novel work I was talking about. And what you're seeing here, by the way, is just Clip Studio's sub-view panel, which is really handy for having reference art. Sometimes I'll just drop it straight on the canvas to have handy, but sometimes it's nice to just have it off on the side, especially if you're doing like a time lapse and you don't want the reference bopping in and out of your time lapse recording. So yeah, we're just gonna get started here on the spikiest haired boy. If you thought Roxas's hair was spiky, you were wrong. I mean, you're right, but you know, it's all relative. I was going somewhere with this, I promise. I just completely lost it. So that's good times. Come on, man. So one thing that's been interesting, I've been using this more tapered pen with like for this piece and for some of our graphic novel work recently, because I really love the texture of it and the dynamics of it for the thickness of the stroke. It's really interesting. Like it's a little bit less predictable than some of my other brush pens that I use. But it's a little less predictable. So there's some challenge in that as well. And I'm noticing how much it varies based on the orientation of the pen. Okay. that. Might be a spiker. I am just... Alright. Alright. Sometimes you start out and you're just not quite feeling it. So let's start out at a different place and come back to that. Okay, that is definitely not the pen dynamic I want. So what I am doing, one of the things that I have found is that because the pen orientation is so influential, part of how it figures out the pen orientation is how the canvas is rotated. So if you see me like rotate the canvas, draw a line, undo, rotate the canvas, I'm playing with trying to get the pen and quality of line that I'm exactly looking for. To be fair, these characters will be relatively small in the final piece. Oops, that didn't quite. There we go. All right. Let's make sure these guys actually intersect. So this is the beauty of vector, is that I can come in here and adjust my lines after I've already drawn them. I can merge them together. I can do all sorts of fun stuff, and that's real great. That's the pinch tool that I did not mean to do, or the redraw vector line tool, pinch tool. There's all sorts of great stuff. So you can see now I've just connected these two lines, and that's pretty awesome. It's great, and you can do a lot of fun things like the vector eraser, which lets you erase up to intersections and stuff like that. So you're gonna see me messing with that a lot. I do my lines almost exclusively in vector at this point, just because it's a lot more flexible and because of the rescalability I was mentioning earlier with the in terms of not being as sensitive to a particular resolution. Okay, that is definitely better than the sketch. I will put the nose a little more here. There we go. That's our Axel. Or Lee, if you are, a fan of the later entries in the series. A little too tight there. There we go. That is definitely not quite symmetric, so let's fix that a wee bit. Better, and these should come down, because that should sit underneath where the eyebrow comes in, don't you think? Let's bring this a little bit more like that. Good. Actually, hold on. This is consistent with the other characters in terms of sizing. Triangles under the eyes. Okay, that's pretty good. His face is actually a lot thinner. It tapers up more like that. Okay. Tried to square out the jaw a little bit like it does, but it's much further up. Okay. Okay. Fair warning, chat. I may be a little tired this week. I wouldn't say it's been a bad week, but it has been a week that has certainly had some energy demands that go along with it. But we're all here, we're all good, so I really can't complain. Okay, that's a little messy. Let's clean that up. Let's clean that up a little bit. Yeah, better. Better. Might be a little bit high on the forehead there. So what if we bring it up to, yeah, something like that. And actually, I do want his eyes looking a little more over at Shion here. And so right around that corner there is where it starts to really flare out. Okay. Okay, getting a better handle on the spike situation here. Bring this in a bit more here. Okay, looking good there. I can bring these eyes, they actually should be a bit smaller. Recenter this guy. Better. Okay. Pretty good. Clean this one up just like I did on the other side. Okay. Okay, there is like a little bit more gravity. Kind of pull on the bigger spikes here. I'm seeing. So many spikes. So it kind of cuts across, and he's got kind of the main plume, which actually is the tallest one. Wow. Wow. Such hair. So spike. Wow. It's like there's definitely a breaking point on the gravity on his hair. Like, everything's fine just like reaching for the sky here, but once you get past here, it starts to feel the pull. That's what I think, at least. Don't you? Nope. Nope, more like that. That's more what I'm looking for. Okay. So then it's gonna do largely, oh, interesting. This one more splits off, at least in this particular official art. And then it just goes into the spikes that shoot off here. There's like, you know, some variation in that. And you know, you've got okay, hold up. I'd like to make these just a wee bit wider here on this one, because these are the front, and you've probably heard, if not here, elsewhere, that, you know, the thicker a line tends to be in relation to the lines around it, the more it tends to pull it to the front. So since I'm going to be drawing some spikes back in behind here, I will do them. I will drop my brush size a little bit, but it'll also help. It's the pen pressure dynamic is a little funky, and just in case I can't quite get it as thin as I'd like, I'm going to bump those guys up. How about now? That's okay. I don't think I've drawn this many spikes in hair since I went like through my first Dragon Ball Z phase at school. Hey Dadix, how's it going? Dadix, is it okay if I call you that? Is that right? Yes I am, by the way. I hope you're having a good night. Welcome on in. Oh, hey. Raiding with a party of 2. This is the first raid I've ever gotten. Thank you for the raid. Welcome on in, raiders. Janos, welcome in, Janos. Oh my goodness. This is awesome. Everyone's coming in all at once. Well, hey guys, welcome on in. I'm Geoff. You can call me Wags, or any other creative name that you'd like. Yeah, welcome on in. Working on a Kingdom Hearts 2 piece tonight, an illustration. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream tonight. I've got an early meeting in the morning, but I'll be around for a while. So yeah, thank you for my first raid. This is so exciting. I love it. You may know it's my first raid because I haven't set up any fun bots or displays on the channel, but you know, I'm happy you're here. Thank you for joining me tonight. So Dadix, what were you streaming tonight? Janos. Hey everybody, don't pay attention to this guy. He's okay, but we're working on his role within the stream. By the way, this is my stream. It's not my account, but you know, come on. By the way, Janos, I did make sure to get a nod to our, you know, running joke last stream in the stream title. Anywho, enjoy me and I guess the stream if you want. Let me know if you have any questions, like how did it get so handsome? Why am I so amazing? Good times. Yes, please direct any of those questions to Janos. Well, I just continue to draw spikes for the rest of my life. What was our joke last stream? You know, I'm just a widow eccentric. Ah, very nice. A sketch for a new piece. What is the piece that you have in mind? Did I remind you of it and you tried so hard to forget? My brain will not be turned to mush again. Well, you know, it will be a shorter stream than last time, so you do have a little, you know, that's in your advantage. So Dadix, welcome. You know, welcome to the conversation. Janice is a regular here, and we often talk about all sorts of stuff, from feelings on art, improvement, trying new styles, to wearing sunglasses with googly eyes glued to them and being a widow eccentric. I believe that's what the notes say. Yes, but it's good times. We're happy you're here. Surely I could not have seen this coming. Oh, so yeah, girl floating on top of the water. Yeah. Water is definitely challenging. But I've definitely, like, I've found, like, I've not attempted it a whole lot of times. But when I have, like, it's more just kind of creating some of those, especially if it's like the ocean, like those interlocking patterns, kind of distorted diamonds of shadow, and then like catching the highlights of the wave tops. It's worked pretty well when I've tried it, but I'm not by any stretch of the imagination an expert. Yeah. It sounds cool though. Like pieces like that can really come out amazing. Do you do like traditional art, digital art? What do you prefer to work in? Can we get some sea salt ice cream for rating you? Yeah. I mean, well, Roxas finished his. You know, he got ahead of the game. But hey, there's that. I'm sure you could ask. Ask these guys for some. Been lucky to understand stuff like water and sky stuff like that mostly because I'm oddly great at replicating environments. Paint. That's pretty cool. I haven't done a lot of like just I'm going to draw a landscape today or I'm going to paint a landscape, and it's an area where I could definitely probably stand more practice myself, but I'm slowly but surely getting better. I think when I've done like I like to do Pokemon pieces, and so when I've done those, like, you know, get a little bit of background practice there. Okay, nice. How are you liking? Have you upgraded to 3.0? And if so, how are you liking it? Okay. All right, what do I work on next here? Do something different on every canvas, which is great to improve, but for business, it's terrible. It's true. It's hard to find an audience when you are all over the place. But it is great for personal growth, that's for sure. this out a little bit here. Okay. Yeah, the 3D models are incredible. I could probably stand to work with them a little bit more, but I've started using them a bit more, and I agree, they're incredible. And some of our community of like kids, comic graphic novel artists, there's actually a person who does like architectural design and 3D stuff in SketchUp and a little bit in Blender as their like regular job, and they have for years. And so they went to create like a model for another person in the group and dropped it in. It was just incredible. Oh, art? Yeah, I think I could just do it more. Not gonna lie, honestly. I mean, that's the dream, right? That's the dream, to draw more. And if you want to draw better, draw more. That's at least the way that I see it. Not to mention, I've like found myself in the position of working on, you know, I've got like four different projects that I'm kind of trying to push forward simultaneously, which is great for variety. I definitely don't get bored, but it certainly is, you know, I feel the crunch. Oh, nice. Going back to digital, having some fun with pen work. That's what I'm doing. Okay. Let's get this. That's better. This was just a little bit low. Kind of a long torso situation going on, you know? So Dadix, like, as an artist, like, do you have any inspirations? Do you have any like particular artists you like or styles that you prefer to work in? Oh, traditional. Me. Am I looking forward to connect? Yeah, I am really. It's sad for me that like I haven't had as much time to explore, like play through the series in recent years. So I haven't, like I a lot of my knowledge past like 358.5 days is through watching playthroughs of it instead of playing myself. But like what I've seen of all the plot, like I really want to see like where do they go from like where they left things off at the end of the Remind DLC. And I really am just curious. Like I love seeing how even just watching playthroughs of it, seeing how the gameplay has evolved from 1 all the way into 3. Like I'm curious to see what madness they come up with next, because it looks so cool and so slick. Yeah. How about you? Overlapping, so the thumb would be towards. Every now and then I just have to check myself, you know. Maybe adjust that hand. And then when I fill that in this folder, that'll go pretty neatly. Sleeve there, that nice taper down. Not quite getting that the way that I want. This hand is this hand is going a little bit rough here. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. The thumb definitely does not connect in that way. Better. This then. Alright, come on. Yeah, not liking how this hand is coming in. Alright. You know, actually, hold up. I don't think I want lasso erase here. Anime style, okay. Yeah, those are all amazing, like reference for style. Like those. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the style. Like with Genshin, I haven't really played any of Zenless Zone Zero. That just released pretty recently. And yeah, I've never actually played League, but I've seen like the splash art, and it's beautiful, really. Like, okay, so actually, the sleeve would come not quite like that. Bit more like that. Okay. But I do love the anime style. This is one of my first forays kind of back into it in recent years. My natural style is actually quite a bit more cartoony for a lot of things. But at the same time, I think I like working in multiple different styles anyway. All right, now I can see where Roxas is. I need to see that to get this better aligned. Okay, put the pinky here. So something like that. And that'll work a lot better. Let's kind of fix that a little bit. Okay. Better, and then I can just kind of hand and the wrist coming down. Well, clearly I'm tired tonight. Been getting a few more of these advertisements in here. No, thank you. So we'll just go ahead and drop that. Cool. Janos. I don't know why I didn't see the second half of that sentence coming. Oh, my favorite cartoon growing up. That's like, man, that's a good question. I have to go. I think Ninja Turtles would probably be. Yeah, Ninja Turtles. We'll go with that one. This hand is not right. This is not. It's just been one of those weeks. How about you? I should know you better than to have not expected the second half of that sentence. You know, sometimes you just don't see it coming. You know? Alright, so really it's gonna be more like... Oh, come on. 3. The rest of the hand can come up there because the sleeve is gonna be kind of hanging from the hand. There we go. Yeah, that angle was just not right before. This is feeling better about this. Oh, Code Lyoko. Yeah, that was a really good one too. I know I discovered anime more by the time that I was in junior high school, and that kind of took over, obviously, on the cartoon front. I started watching more like, you know, the Toonami block, stuff like that. Yeah, it's just been a long week, Jen. I not necessarily bad, just a week that's taken a lot of mental energy. I'll put it that way. Like, yeah, and part of that's work, like my day job, just trying to push through a whole bunch of debugging, and yeah, it's slow sometimes. How about you? Has your week been better than some of your recent ones? Okay, so I'll come in like that. Only red flag of Toonami was that it aired at 1 a.m. Yeah, I think they started... Wait, they started earlier. So I grew up in Central Time Zone. So especially on weekends, I thought Friday, Saturday, and Sunday they started a little bit earlier. And that was before, like, and then Cartoon Network replaced the Toonami late block with Adult Swim, and then Toonami moved to like late afternoon, I think. It's been alright. So how's the concussion doing? I should probably ask how that's going. Okay, so then what will happen is his hand will come in and be on the shoulder, but Roxas's hand will come out in front. Okay. Okay. We'll figure that out when we're doing colors. How to layer that effectively. Yeah, I can imagine being randomly nauseous at times would not be great. Honestly, do better. I mean, you're not doing it on purpose. I tell you what, freehand drawing straight lines apparently is my lifelong nemesis. That knockout is going to feel like light work after you're done punishing your brain. Is that why you come here? To punish your brain? Just a little bit. We do not have to go down this road again. I apologize. All right. Good. All right. Is this scaled pretty close to the other ones? Yeah. All right. Give yourself some credit. I mean, I do for some things. Yeah, thanks for coming in, Dadix. You have a great night too, and thanks for the raid. That was awesome. It was yeah, that was fun. First raid. And also, thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. Have a great night. Yep. First of many. Oh, thanks, man. Well, I hope to see you again. That'd be awesome. Pray for those raiders. They don't know what they're getting into. It's like in you've seen Twister, right, Janos? Give them concussions just by talking to you. Maybe a little bit less on that. Also, why is that so much? Okay, that's a little better. But at any rate, if, the classic OG, great, amazing, actually overrated, but I still enjoy it. Classic. Double twist. Or the cash grab of a 2024 remake with cast appeal. Yeah, so I haven't seen the remake yet. I'm a little excited. Fun fact, have I ever mentioned that my main job is involved in meteorology? My day job is meteorology, not forecasting, but working on the forecast tools side of things. Because it is. And Twister, kids, don't let movies tell you what field you should go into, because they are not always accurate. Twister inspired me to go into meteorology. It did not tell me that it was a lot of applied math and physics. I remember being utterly baffled by the fact that like none of my first semester meteorology classes had windows in them. Like, or some of them were in buildings that just didn't have windows. I'm like, but the weather's out there. Why are we? Right, that's your fault. That's 100% your fault. Hollywood done rotted your brain. I mean, yes, it was. You know what? We just rewatched Twister fairly recently, and honestly, I feel like it stands up pretty well. Still an enjoyable watch. Anyway, my whole point for going down this road with Twister was this. There's the scene after the tornado hits Aunt Meg's house, and she's like, "We had no warning," and that's what I'm imagining people saying after spending time in the channel here. It was a long road to get there, but we got there. Not jagged. He doesn't have a jagged edge on his sleeve. Goodness gracious. This brain, oh mine. Oh man, oh cats. That's what I say. Speaking of ratted brains. Did I just compare you? Not you specifically. Just the net effect of the channel. Of doing the did until you're done. I don't really know where I was going with that. But I thought we were on the same page here with you talking about the concussions. How dare you? Natural disasters do not cause nearly as much harm and damage as I do. Well, you know, I don't have data to back it up, so. Where's the data, Janos? What is this zipper anyway? Instead of trying to look up a higher resolution example, I'm just gonna sit and stare at it until it tells me all its secrets. Maybe it's not working. When's the last time you checked your head? Been a while. It's been a while. Just kidding. I know this week I'm tired. It's been busy and a lot, and I'm on a stretch where it's just like lots of stuff going on in the evenings, and that does tend to mean that I have worn down my sleep reserve just a wee bit. Well, you asked for data. Go check. Oh, I get it. I thought you meant check my head to see if I'm okay. But you're saying pull data from ye old files in my head. So we've been watching a lot of Big City Greens recently on Disney Plus, which is a fabulous cartoon, by the way. And there's just this one episode where like the boy Cricket is like going into his brain to try to like get good at trivia, and he goes back to like his first fact he ever learned, that it's dogs can't spit, and like the information in his brain is just this like one, you know, character. That's all it can say. Everything it says is just dogs can't spit. I don't know. Oh, you think I might actually need to go get my head checked? In which way? You know, there's many ways one can get their head checked. Okay, well this zipper is way clearer. Why didn't I just look at that one first? Okay. Okay. Yeah, you definitely do. I'll get it checked for awesome. Oh, what a burn. It's okay, Wagster. Papa Wanos will get you checked out and taken care of. Thanks, friend. I don't really know where I'm going with this. But I don't think this week I have the mental energy to come up with a witty response while I'm also attempting to draw. Am I usually able to? Who knows? But I definitely am not right now. That's the fact. Oh, you know what would be fun is to get like the more you know banner and hotkey that thing. So I can just be sitting here and I push that like ba 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 ba. I appreciate the Skyrim reference. That's nice. That's good. Thanks, kind stranger. I used to be an arrow like you, but then I took an adventurer to the knee. Fun fact, I did have a friend who took a fellow human to the knee in a mosh pit, and it is hazardous, and you don't want that. So the zipper actually is less triangular and more like a soda can tab. Interesting. Fun fact. Don't throw humans at your knees. Again, the more you know. You need them to walk. Maybe just consider taking care of your knees. Maybe. Maybe. Although having been a runner through high school and a little bit of college, and having done like a half marathon once, I will say the likelihood of me having, well, needing a robotic replacement knee at some point it's there. I'm not having troubles now, but I feel like it's, you know, could be coming. You know, we get some disturbing clicks sometimes, at times that you wouldn't expect your knee to click. That zipper is much larger than the top one. I know it's a little closer, but that doesn't seem reasonable. Hardly fashionable. Very disappointing. There we go. Is this a lo-fi Elden Ring theme? It might be. I have no knowledge of Elden Ring music, so I'm gonna cheat and look. It is, in fact. This is Game Chop's Radio, Elden Ring, by Tune In with Chewy from their Souls and Chill album. Good ear. You are 100% correct. Hey, how's it going? Welcome on in. The drawing is going well so far. We're working on, I am working on this Kingdom Hearts 2 illustration. It works in some elements from like 358 and a half days. It's a good time. This is Janos chat. Yeah, how's your night going? And welcome on in. Good deal. So yeah, I'm just working on lines here. I've worked through my initial sketch. I've worked through pencils where I'm kind of tightening things up, and yeah, just laying down final lines on my characters before I really jump in on the clock tower in the background. Are you a Kingdom Hearts fan at all? Oop, come on. Not really can appreciate cute guys, but never played it. I say it still counts, honestly. Sorry, Janice. What's the... Don't elaborate on the who? Is that what you're asking about? Still working on Waggy's role here. So by the way, Yes, you can call me Geoff, you can call me Wags or Waggy as Janos does. Anything creative. What do you prefer to go by? Princess, Awk? Usually I ask. I was trying not to just sound like rinse and repeat. Awk is fine. Okay, well, welcome on in, Awk. So yeah, what are you up to tonight? Oh, this is brilliant as me. The ever humble Janos. I'm telling you, it's a funny bit, but you're doing it too much. I mean, you're getting in the habit of doing it. I think it's funny still, but if it's starting to bug you. Oh, nice. So working on some commissions. What type of art do you do? Manhwa style art. I'm not as familiar with that one. Yeah, if you want to, if you feel like sharing, you're always welcome. You should be able to post links. Feel free to do so. Get this boot right. And actually, the boot does extend all the way up. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that then. Cool. Oh, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Let's, yeah. Well, this is great. I really like your coloring and your lighting on the hair that you do. That's awesome. when you're done putting me through my pace. Thanks. Appreciate that. You know, it's really funny. When I started streaming, I didn't think about like, oh, you're probably going to see a lot of artists in your stream. And it's been really awesome. I love it. I love that, not just the community of it, but like the feeling of, I think I mentioned this before. It feels a lot like when I was in like art class and we were in the studio and we were all just kind of working and chatting while we were doing it. That was pretty awesome. It's something that I didn't realize how much I missed until I kind of had something that was like it. What? Seriously? Constructive conversation between artistic individuals? What? Intellectuals? Sorry. Misread that. Okay, how are we doing on that? Pretty good. We're getting there. We are getting there. That foot is a little big though, and I do need to taper the shoe a bit. Let's kind of bring this in. Bring that down a bit more. Nope, not quite. Yeah, we can round that off a little bit. Okay, that's better and much less clown shoe. And, you know, that's good. This one is just for fun. I had started off working on looking for a piece to do as like a donation piece for, I don't know if you're familiar with Games Done Quick, but it's like it's a charity marathon. And they do, you know, over the course of the marathon, they have prizes that, if people donate a certain amount during a certain game, a certain run, they can qualify to win the prize. So I've done art donations for them for a couple years now, submitted stuff that's been accepted. And so I brainstormed a few pieces and ended up picking a different one for the piece that I donated, which was actually, this is the one that I finished. It was pretty cool, actually. We got it printed as a blanket, like this really super fuzzy plush Sherpa blanket. So did that and donated it, but then I'd sketched out thumbnails for a bunch of games, and I really liked the Kingdom Hearts ones since I'm a pretty big fan of the series. So yeah, these were like the thumbnails that I did. Anyway, I liked it so much that I wanted to come back and just finish the piece for the sake of finishing the piece. So doing a did that didn't do last night, that does a doing normally, did not do the did, therefore didn't done the do that I did do, tell it to do so, or now I'm doing the did for the oh, that was hard. You know what's funny is usually I can read those pretty quickly, but that was a good challenge, Janos. Yeah, I think it was a Halo run. They ran into a little bit of trouble. I don't think I watched all of that when I saw like parts of it, and I could see they were kind of struggling, and I'd gone on to do something else, and I think I read about it a little bit later. But it's like they do 2 week-long marathons a year with like, I don't know, 100, 200 games, speedruns. So, but yeah, I forgot about the Halo run. I think that's the one though, yeah. Okay, getting there on this one, on Axel. Okay. Nope, come on. There we go. That's better. The boot probably comes up to something like here. We'll say there. Okay, let's check this out. Just turn pencils off for a second. Okay, line thickness looks pretty consistent. Proportion looks pretty consistent. All right, feeling pretty good about this. I'm not exactly helping come up with meaningful conversations. Therefore, the ego train will continue. Tee. Yeah, sorry, brain is tired tonight, but I'm doing my best. Okay, I think I'm ready to move on to Xion then. I might touch up Axel when I'm going back to color, but again, this is, you know, the characters are going to be fairly small in the piece, so I don't need to get crazy into detail. One day I'm just going to scare you by being genuinely kind, humble, and I think you let it sneak in more than you realize. Oh, did want to get the detail on the jacket, the trench coat here. Right. And I know I could totally use Clip Studio's brushes here for this. Like, I've gotten some pretty cool, like chain texture brushes and stuff like that, but kind of like doing it by hand sometimes. Do I have any close-up on that detail? Nope, that's cats. That is an actual commission that I'm working on. One of my other projects I'm trying to move forward right now. I don't know what you're talking about. Now Venmo me $15. I deserve it. You can't hide it, Janos. There's good in you. I know it. All right. I will say I will probably be wrapping up stream in the next 10-15 minutes or so, just because I have to get to bed for an early meeting tomorrow. But yeah, I can at least finish the lines on this guy. Alright, so we got kind of like a loop here. So, I don't know that I actually asked. It looks like you do a lot of digital art. What do you prefer to use for your art? Program-wise, do you do any traditional media? It's always cool to get a chance to ask the other artists that come in here. Oh, there it is. Aggressively puts on expensive Ray-Bans with googly eyes. I'm just a Widowwick, said Dwick. We haven't quite hit the unhinged energy of last stream, but it's still a good stream. We're having fun. Move to digital and never go back. I agree. I'll still, like, you know, during my workday, I'll be sometimes doodling on notes, like if I'm trying to work through like a problem on scratch paper or something, and I'll be like sketching, and I'll like find myself like wanting to like Control Z and try to like undo my sketch lines on a regular piece of paper. And yeah, it feels a little silly, but it's so nice to have the flexibility to undo like that. And zooming, of course. Pretty nice and convenient. About to get this cursed energy started. Oh no. What have I done? Honestly though, with where my brain's at tonight, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another great misstating of, you know, a law of physics or something. Okay, that's pretty good. I don't think I need to get super detailed on the brooch there, but I will do the pull cords for the hoodie. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've done a lot, like any traditional media really, for at least 10 years, aside from like pencil and paper sketching. And that's more a matter of convenience. Or just being able to do it when I'm, you know, not in front of a computer. But I agree. The digital is just So convenient. Janos, you are not kidding about the cursed energy. That's for sure. Blinker fluid. At first I was like, yeah, blinker fluid. That's definitely a thing. When do I ever lie? I mean, I don't even know if I could classify that as a lie. It's just... I don't even know if I can wrap my head around that. Okay, that's pretty good there. Okay. Cool. Maybe I'll just kind of hint at one right here in the background. Okay. Of course, draw the little jaggies on the zipper. When do I ever lie? I told you I'd be handing out aneurysms like it's a charity. I'm not sure if that's a charitable donation. Yeah, it's just the... Let's get the zipper in there. Ba-ba-ba. All things considered, it is to me. All that's important is that you give back. I got a little bit loose. Okay. Okay, now I think Axel's done. Cool. Getting there. All right, so we're at 11:25. So I think I'm gonna kick it over to just chatting, just for the last few minutes here, and wrap things up. Now this is truly some chaotic energy. I wish I could match it right now, but that's okay. You say you know you give and receive, so why do I keep handing out sucker punches and nothing happens? I'm so confused. You would think you'd get something back, be it a restraining order or, you know, returning the favor. Yeah, I was like, okay, let's chat. I'm gonna come over and start chatting, and then I'm like, oh, my brain is totally blank right now. It's good times. I don't know, been one of those weeks. It was funny. I was trying to work out this problem in my code, and I realized that what I thought was like really simple was trying to calculate coordinates in two different coordinate systems and project them across to each other for three different, like, differently shaped subgrids. It was exhausting. It's good times. Well, the judge told me I'd be given jail time, so I gave him one too. I don't know why, but the kind officer tapped me and I started running. They told me to stop running. Clearly they don't know how tag works. Maybe you're just that good. Oh, by the way, Janos, thank you for the music recommendations last week. Those were great and very much in line with my taste in music. So that was appreciated. What did I think? So I think there were like five that you listed out total, and I went through each. And yeah, they're just. I used to listen to a lot of indie, so it really was in line with kind of my typical taste. It reminded me of days when, you know, riding in the car was like listening to radio or satellite radio and not listening to kids' DVDs. I do have kids, by the way, if you're still here. It's not just my preference. Although, you know, if that's your way, there's nothing wrong with that either. Yeah, I don't know if I can pinpoint a favorite of the ones that you listed, but I've added them to my rotation as well. So, much appreciated. Good music is always nice. Yeah, I'm trying to think, is there anything else I wanted to cover tonight before I call it? Plenty of genres to spare, so feel free whenever. Okay. Like, feel free to ask for a recommendation whenever. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, yes, of course I know you're so smart and amazing. I mean, I know you're doing the ego thing right now, but honestly, we've had some really great conversations in chat, so, you know, give yourself some credit. Don't agree with that. I call that like a tangential agreement, right? Like, I'm not agreeing with the you know, the ego play, but there's truth in it, you know. I enjoy having you here in chat, so there's that. I like that you had to specify. Don't agree with that. All right. So tell you what, it's 11:30 here. I need to wrap it up so I can get to bed. Yes. Feel pretty good. Made some progress tonight. It's been slow, but working on these inks, but I'm happy with how they're coming out. It's fun to be here, and it lets me bring out everything wrong about me. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna take that as like a great compliment. So let's roll with that. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Ak, if you're still here, thanks for joining. It was nice to chat with you. Janos, of course, it's always a pleasure. Anybody who's watching the VOD or watching this on YouTube, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. I enjoy getting to share this with you. It reminds me of that art studio vibe, and it's really relaxing for me as well. So thank you. I'll be back next week, Thursday, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern time here in the States. Yeah, I hope you have a great night, everybody, and a great week in between. And I will look forward to seeing you all then. So have a good night, Janice. All right. Bye, guys.